In a music industry obsessed with overnight virality and disposable hits, something extraordinary is happening. A quiet revolution where substance triumphs over algorithms, where poetry outperforms promotion. I'm about to take you through what might be the most impressive chart achievement in modern hip-hop history and why it matters even if you've never streamed a Kendrick Lamar album. What if I told you that right now, we're witnessing something so rare that it defies everything we've come to expect from today's music business? That while everyone's chasing viral snippets and TikTok moments, one artist is proving that authentic expression still commands the culture? Welcome to the curious case of Kendrick Lamar's GNX, the album that refuses to fade away. Picture this. It's spring 2025. Most hit albums from last winter have long since disappeared from the charts, replaced by whatever shiny new project dropped last Friday. But there's Kendrick Lamar's GNX, an album released over 3 months ago, casually reclaiming the #1 spot on the Billboard 200 for a 4th week. And not just squeezing by, but moving nearly 91,000 units to edge out Drake and PartyNextDoor's Valentine's release by the slimmest of margins, just 500 units. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Another video about Kendrick versus Drake? Hasn't that horse been beaten into the afterlife? Don't worry, guys. We're diving into something far more interesting than rap beef, though I can't promise it won't come up. This is about a seismic shift in what commercial success looks like in 2025. Let's get specific about what makes this so unusual. GNX isn't your typical streaming era album designed to game the system. It's just 12 tracks. No deluxe editions. No surprise drops of additional songs. No bundling with merchandise. Just 44 minutes of meticulously crafted music that people keep coming back to, over and over again. The album initially debuted with over 310,000 units in November. Already impressive, but what's unprecedented is its staying power. In an industry where most albums lose 65 to 70% of their streaming numbers in the second week, GNX has demonstrated remarkable resilience. And while other artists rush to flood platforms with 25-track albums hoping a few songs stick, Kendrick's proving that quality can still outperform quantity. But wait, it gets more interesting. While GNX is dominating the album chart, Kendrick and SZA's collaboration Luther is simultaneously sitting at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for a 3rd consecutive week. Let that sink in. In today's attention-deficit streaming economy, maintaining the top single position for 3 weeks is like finding a unicorn in your local Target parking lot. For those keeping score at home, this means Kendrick Lamar is currently responsible for the most streamed album and the most streamed song in America. It's the musical equivalent of winning both Best Picture and Best Actor at the Oscars. Except he's done it 3 times in just 4 months. I don't know about you, but I can barely keep my plants alive for 4 months. What's beautiful about Luther specifically is how it showcases both artists at their peak. SZA's soulful vocals weaving through Kendrick's intricate verses creates this tapestry that feels both timeless and utterly of the moment. Their chemistry reminds us of their previous collaboration on All the Stars, but this feels more mature, more confident. It's the work of artists who know exactly who they are. Now, I need you to understand just how rare this dual domination really is. Having the #1 album and single simultaneously has historically been reserved for cultural phenomena. Think Michael Jackson during Thriller, or the Beatles at the height of Beatlemania. In hip-hop specifically, it's the equivalent of pitching a perfect game while hitting for the cycle. But to do it 3 times in 4 months? That's not just breaking records. That's creating a category all his own. Following his Super Bowl halftime performance in February, Kendrick didn't just send GNX back to #1, He simultaneously had two more of his albums in the Billboard Top 10. Damn from 2017 and Good Kid, Mad City from 2012 both re-entered the chart, making him the first rap artist in history to have 3 albums in the top 10 at once. What we're witnessing isn't just commercial success. It's cultural resonance on a scale that redefines what's possible in modern music. Think about it. In an era where the average song has a lifespan shorter than a TikTok trend, Kendrick's created work that people aren't just streaming once and forgetting, they're returning to, finding new layers, making it part of their daily soundtrack. Now, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't address the elephant in the room. Yes, this achievement comes against the backdrop of Kendrick's highly publicized feud with Drake. And yes, there are some, let's call them, interesting allegations about music promotion practices swirling around. For those who've been living under a particularly soundproof rock, Drake has filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group claiming they made covert payments to boost Kendrick's diss track Not Like Us, essentially modern-day payola. Meanwhile, reports suggest Drake's team has implemented their own content rewards system, paying social media creators to promote his music with PartyNextDoor. It's like watching 2 chess grandmasters accuse each other of moving pieces while the referee isn't looking.
But here's what fascinates me about Kendrick's achievement with GNX. It's happening without any of those controversial tactics. None of the diss tracks appear on the album. There's no extended tracklist to inflate streaming numbers. No multiple album versions with different bonus tracks. Just 12 songs that people genuinely connect with, in a world of manufactured engagement. This feels like, dare I say it, authentic success? Beyond numbers and charts, what GNX represents is something far more profound. A love letter to Los Angeles wrapped in G-funk rhythms and unflinching truth. It's Kendrick Lamar, standing firmly in his roots, while stretching branches toward the sky. Like a modern griot, he's crafting stories that echo from Compton streets to corner offices, from block parties to boardrooms. When the album dropped, all 12 songs debuted on the Hot 100 simultaneously, with Kendrick occupying the entire top 5, joining a fraternity of just 5 artists in history to achieve this. The Beatles, Drake, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and Kendrick Lamar. Not exactly shabby company. Critics describe GNX as Kendrick at his most confrontational, deferring only to God. The title itself references the Buick Regal his father reportedly drove when bringing him home from the hospital as a newborn. A perfect metaphor for an album that's both a return to roots and a powerful vehicle built for performance. And let's be honest, gentlemen, there's something deeply satisfying about watching an artist who refuses to play by the new rules still come out on top. It's like seeing that one guy win the marathon while everyone else is chasing shortcuts. You can't help but respect the craftsmanship, even if your team anyone but Kendrick. So what does all this mean for the future of music? Are we witnessing a cultural correction? A return to valuing artistic integrity over streaming manipulation? Or is this just a rare exception to the algorithm-driven rule? I think what Kendrick's achievement suggests is that there's still immense power in creating work that resonates on a deeper level. In a world increasingly dominated by AI-generated content and formula-driven hits, human expression that feels urgent and authentic can still cut through the noise. It reminds me of something Maya Angelou once said. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Perhaps that's the secret to GNX's staying power. It makes people feel something genuine in an increasingly manufactured cultural landscape. The music industry will always have its formulas and promotional tactics. Artists will always find new ways to game the system. But Kendrick Lamar's historic chart dominance reminds us that sometimes, just sometimes, the cream still rises. Sometimes the algorithm bends to art rather than the other way around.
Whether you're Team Kendrick or Team Drake, or frankly couldn't care less about either,
There's something universally significant about what we're witnessing. It's a reminder that in a world increasingly optimized for quick consumption, we still hunger for substance. We still recognize craftsmanship. We still reward authenticity when we see it. I'd love to know what you think. Is Kendrick's chart dominance a sign that the music industry is changing? Or is it just an anomaly in an otherwise algorithm-driven landscape? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more cultural analysis that goes beyond the headlines. Until next time, keep listening critically and maybe give GNX another spin. Sometimes the albums that last aren't the ones that shout the loudest, but the ones that have something genuine to say. Thanks for watching.